start that just in case. All right, so start in child's pose. So bring your knees as wide as your mat if you feel comfortable doing that this morning, and your toes together. And then just have the blocks nearby, you won't need them yet. And then reach your fingertips forwards and bring your forehead down. So just using this time to center and arrive onto your mat. So let's find that balance straight away in your breath. So start to breathe in this equal breath rhythm, so samavriti. So maybe counting the inhales in your head and then matching that with the exhales. Perhaps having a gentle pause in between the inhale and the exhale. So that you really start to ground yourself to what the next 60 minutes will bring for you today before you start your day. So one thing I liked in the article that I sent out is that when it described Sukham, which is ease and space, on the mat, they were saying about taking time to center ourselves before every practice rather than just launching straight into it. And I know that's something we always do. And this is one of the reasons why. So we can just find that little bit of centeredness, a little bit of ease, softness before we move into a few more challenging poses. So coming back to this sense of ease, even if you're finding yourself challenged by some of the movements today, see if you can remember this sense of ease in this very familiar child's pose. Continue with that equal breath, that samavriti, breathing in and out through the nostrils if you can, taking that ujjayi breath if you like as well. Just really arriving here. There was a really nice quote as well that said, life is one big yoga pose. Move through it with equal parts steadiness and freedom. And that's our goal really, isn't it? Finding that steadiness and that freedom in life. Take a few more equal breaths here, breathing in and out through the nostrils, really getting into your own rhythm. Maybe lengthening the hips back towards the heels a little bit, stretching the fingertips a little bit more forwards as you start to bring a little bit more effort into this. So rather than just making it really easeful now, see if you can come onto your fingertips so that your forearms lift away from the mat. Maybe your elbows and upper arms do as well. And then reach the hips even closer to your heels, find a bit more space as the chest reaches towards the ground a little bit closer. Breathing in and breathing out. Wonderful. Then next breath in, coming all the way up to a tabletop position. Find yourself in your tabletop position with your hands under your shoulders and knees under hips. Let's just take 3 cat and cows. Again, it's all about moving with your breath at the moment. So inhale, bring your tailbone up to the sky, sink your belly and your heart down, look up. And exhale, round through the back, find that cow position. Take 2 more with your breath, moving and breathing. Inhaling, finding your cow, and exhale, round and round. Press the ground away, really protract through the upper back. Good, then retract as you come into that cow position, pull the shoulder blades towards each other. And last time, exhale, round and find that cow position. All right, come back to the center. And then keep your hands where they are for the moment and step your right foot out to the side. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. Ground through the outer edge of your right foot and then bring the left hand underneath your face. Breathe in, reach the right arm up. Find that straight and that lift in the right hand, pressing down into the left. And then thread that right hand underneath your left. Come onto your right shoulder, your right ear is on the mat. And start by walking your left hand as far forward as you can so that the biceps close to the ear. Good, and ground again through the outside edge of that right foot if you find that you've come into the inside edge a little bit. Feel a little bit of activity in the inner hamstring, the inner thighs. Good, and then with that top hand, that left hand, just bring it around and place it on top of the right so that the palms are together. Good, and then lengthen the arms away from you, so press the palms down and really engage, feel the broadening through the back. Good, breathing in. Have that little bit of effort here, breathing out. Maybe you'll lift a little bit away from the left shoulder, the right shoulder from the floor. Nice, and then come back. Just gently press down with the right hand, left hand, reach the right arm up. Inhale here. Good, and then come all the way up into that gate pose. So the right leg's out to the side. Bring your hands just either side of your head. Find a little bit of effort as you bend over towards that outstretched leg. Feel into the obliques here. Breathe in, find that strength first. Then breathe out, lengthen the right fingertips and reach the left arm. You're not really leaning on anything, you're finding a bit of effort here. Come back up to the middle. And again, hands come towards the outside of your head and go straight to the side. So use these obliques as strength on your right side. Good, keep lengthening the tailbone down so you've got engagement in your glutes a little bit. And then bring that left arm down. Maybe you lean over a little bit more to the left, or maybe you put your hands on a block, right arm reaches up. And then start to lift that right leg up. Good, so that you're in this side plank variation. Good, and then you're just going to keep reaching the pelvis forward so that you're slightly lengthening the tailbone. And then bend and straighten that back leg. Without doing anything, you're just going to bend that heel towards your glute and then straighten. If you notice you're getting a little bit of a cramp, don't worry, just keep moving, don't go quite so far. Finding a little bit of effort. The 3 and 2, stay with your breath, and 1. And then reach around and grab a hold of that foot. Good. If you can grab a hold of it, do. If you can't, just keep reaching back as though you're going to grab a hold of it. Then press the foot against the hand and open up into like a little bit of a back bend. Yeah. And then reach that out, the leg out, arm up, and come all the way up into your gate pose again, and reach your hands forward. Stretch the arms forwards, ground into the right foot, reach the hips back. So feel into the shoulders now, a little bit like a puppy pose, but with your right leg out to the side. Let your chest fall between and your head fall between the upper arms. Breathing in. Always keeping that smooth, steady breath, breathing out. And then walk the hands back and come back to a tabletop position. Let's do that all on the other side, exactly the same. So stretch the left leg out to the side, ground through the whole of that left foot, right hand under your face, and lift the left arm up to the sky. Take a moment to lengthen up with the left fingertips and ground through the right palm. And then exhale, thread underneath. So bring the left arm out towards the right. Palm can be up here or down, depends on how your shoulders feel, and then walk your right arm forward so that the bicep is quite close to the ears. Again, notice what you're doing with your left foot. See if you can ground through the outer edge of that. Take a moment, breathe in. And exhale, bring that right hand, palm on top of the left. Maybe press the hands away from you a little bit more. And then press the palms against each other. Feel a little bit of broadening, a little bit of energy in the back. And breathing in. And exhale, release. Bring your right hand underneath your face. Reach your left arm up again. And then come all the way up to standing. And then hands come just behind your head. You lengthen your pelvis forwards and then lower just a little bit as far as you can go with that strength. Keep that strength there, inhaling. Finding a bit of stirrer here. And then exhale, reach the left hand down towards the outstretched leg, right arm up and over, so still finding strength. Good, a little bit of stretch through the right side. Come back to the center. Hands again behind the head, and then start to bend over just as far as you can. So don't go too far so that you feel any pressure or pain in your back. And then reach the right hand down, perhaps start to lean up, reach the left arm up, lift the left leg up. Good. And then stay like this, and then bend and straighten that back leg so that you're trying to touch your left glute with your left heel. So we're doing this about 8 times. Just move with your breath, finding a little bit of effort here. Good. Keep sending the hips forwards, the pelvis forwards a little bit. Good. Last one. Bend it and then reach around. If you can, grab a hold of the foot, go ahead. If you can't, just reach for it, stay there. If you've got the foot, press the foot against the hand. Find a little bit of spaciousness. Just listen to your body. It might feel nice to look up, maybe look to the side, maybe it's better for your neck to look down. Nice, and then release that, reach that left arm up, come all the way back up, and then reach forwards with your hands. Stretching forwards into this sort of puppy pose variation. So you might be on your fingertips if that feels like you're getting a little bit more of a deeper stretch that you want into your shoulders. A little bit of a back bend as well. Breathe in. And breathe out. So just warming up the body first. Breathe in, start to walk the hands back. And step that left knee in, come into tabletop. All right, let's just do one more cat-cow before we come into our first down dog. Ease through the spine. So inhale, finding that nice cow position, and breathe out, round the back. Really create a lot of space. Feels good to round the back to me. And then come back to the center. All right, from here, tuck your toes under, lift your knees up, and then lift your legs all the way back to downward facing dog. Hips reach up, press into the hands, press into the feet. Get that equal weight, so finding balance between the hands pressing down and the feet grounding. Maybe walk your dog if you feel you need that this morning, it's okay. Do your own practice, you know, they're all really experienced, so just listening to your body. You know, we're just here to sort of give you a few guides, but it's your practice, it's all about you. So breathe smooth and steady in and out through the nose still. Keep that smooth, steady, balanced breath. Imagine that energy as you're breathing in through the nose, and that energy as you're breathing out through the nose, creating a little bit of heat. Alright, from here, just walk your feet all the way to the top of the mat. Maybe come onto your tiptoes. See if you can keep the palms flat down. Hug the belly in. Just see how far you can get. And then maybe rest your heels down. Come to that forward fold. Feet can be hip width or closer together. And hold on to opposite elbows. Just sway left and right. And again, feel that balance between the left foot and the right foot. Get that sort of energy central point eventually. And then when you found that central point between left and right, make sure you're grounding through the front and the back of the feet equally as well. And then see if you can have as much ease in your neck and your head as possible. Maybe shake your head, let yes and no. Notice how your breath is in this inversion. One more breath here, breathing in. And breathing out. Good. Next breath, release the hands down towards the mat and just roll up, all the way up to standing. Stacking those vertebrae one at a time. Really feeling that natural shape in your spine. Your head comes up last. Your shoulders roll back and down, palms face towards the front. Tadasana, mountain pose. So hopefully you're all at the front of your mat. Feel that groundedness. So as much as you're pressing down into the mat and into the earth beneath the mat, you're getting that energy up through your body. So you're getting that balance of pressing down but receiving as well. And the crown of the head's lifting up. Breathe in. And breathing out. We're just going to move through a couple of sun seas and then our flow. Alright? So inhale, reach the arms up. Looking up, palms can touch. Exhale, fold forwards into Uttanasana. Stay with that steady breath. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, hands to knees or shins, or maybe reach back. Exhale, hands down, right foot back first, and right knee down. Good, move with your breath. Breathe in, reach the arms up, let the breath be your guide. Exhale, both hands down to the mat, step back, downward facing dog. Let's go through our first vinyasa. So we inhale, come forwards to a plank. Exhale, either chaturanga if you're ready, an up dog, otherwise knees down, hug elbows in, lower all the way down. Breathe in, come into your back bend, cobra or up dog, or even locust. Exhale, downward facing dog. It's really good to vary those back bends in your vinyasas. Reach the right leg up, inhale. And exhale, bend that knee, step the right foot forwards, left knee down. Inhaling, reach the arms up. And exhale, both hands to the front, step the back foot to meet the front, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold as you breathe out. Press the feet down, reach the arms up, ground through those feet, lift up through the fingertips. Samastiti. We'll start with the left side this time. Inhaling, reaching the arms up, movement and breath together. Exhaling, folding forwards, Uttanasana. Inhaling, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, both hands down, left foot back, left knee down. Inhaling, the arms reach up. And exhale, both hands to the top, step back into down dog. Inhaling, come forwards to a plank, going through that vinyasa again. Exhale, your way, so you might want to vary it, find that balance. Inhale, come into your back bend, try not to rush the breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Straight away, left leg rises, inhale. Exhale, step the left foot forwards, right knee down. Inhaling, the arms reach up, lift up, hug the low belly in every time you do this. Exhale, hands to the top, step back foot forwards, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen body. Exhale, fold. Press through the feet, get that energy to lift you all the way up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana, looking up. Exhale, hands to your heart. We're going to move on to the flow, so inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, fold forwards into Uttanasana. Breathing in to halfway lift, lengthen here. Exhale, hands down, step back into a plank. Go through a vinyasa, or if you want to skip your vinyasa, meet me in down dog. You can always do that at any time. You can even take a child's pose or even cat and cows. So sometimes, you know, in that article it said in your practice it might do more good to go a little bit easier. Okay, once we're in down dog, right leg rises, inhale. And exhale, bend that knee, step the right foot forwards, left knee down. Come up into that high lunge straight away, low lunge straight away, just like we did before. Good, and then reach that left arm forwards and the right arm back. So you're coming into this kneeling lunge twist. Take a moment just to reach the fingertips and maybe turn from the thoracic spine. Keep that right knee hugging in, don't let it come out to the side. Inner thighs hugging in towards each other. And then find that revolve. So bring the right hand towards the outside of the left thigh, lift the left arm up. So lift it up and away as though you're trying to get an even deeper stretch into the left side body. Left hip flexors. Good. And then reach that left elbow towards the outside of the right knee, right hand on top of the left. Press the palms together and start by lifting your chest and your belly away from that thigh. Maybe turning your gaze up to the ceiling. And then tuck your toes and lift that back knee. So you're in a high lunge now. Still have that engagement of the inner thighs hugging in towards each other. Grounding through the front and the back foot equally. Yes, excellent. Good job, everyone. Release that twist, come all the way up into that high lunge. Good, so set yourself up. We're going to be on our right leg balancing in a moment for a while. So bring your right elbow down, cross your left on top of it for eagle arms here. Lift the elbows up, move the hands forwards. Have a little bit of effort here, but not too much so that you're screwing your face up. Breathe in. Exhale, start to lean forwards and come into that warrior three. Virabhadrasana 3. So hug the inner thighs towards each other. Good. Then come all the way up to standing. Bend into that left knee and release your hands. Reach your right arm up and then bend that left knee behind you. It's as though you're going into dancer, but you're not going to grab a hold of that foot. I know we all want to, but we're not. You're using your hamstring strength. A little bit of effort here. Imagine you're going into dancer, so maybe you lean forwards a bit. You're not touching that foot. The foot is not being held by your hand. You're using the hamstring. If you're getting cramp, it's okay. Just breathe in. You can always come back out of it. Find that ease. Breathe in. And breathe out, come back to center. Stay on that right leg if you can. Bring your right hip to your hand to your hip. And then imagine you're coming into Utthita Padangusthasana, reaching the right leg, left leg and the left arm forward. So you're going to grab hold of that toe. I know it's frustrating. Build that strength. And then you can extend it to the side with the arm if you like, imagining that you're coming into that, holding the big toe, using strength. Woo. Come back to the front. Woo. And then slowly go back through Warrior 3, both hands on your hips if you like, or hands to heart. Bend that front knee, step back into Warrior 1. Reach the arms up. Oh, it's nice to get off that right leg. Reach the arms up. And then come into Humble Warrior. You know I love this one. Interlace the hands. I like this one because it opens your front body so much, squeezing the backs of the shoulder blades towards each other. But think about hugging your low belly in. Have a little bit of engagement and effort there. Don't just fall into it because it feels so good. Press into the back foot a little bit more and come into that Humble Warrior. So think about having a little bit of effort here. Hug that right outer hip in a little bit as though you're trying to point it back towards your back foot, your left foot. Nicely done. And then release your hands. Bring the left hand underneath your face. Pivot onto the ball of the left foot, reach your right arm up. Easy lunge twist. So moving slowly through this first round. Press a lot through that left hand. Make sure the fingers are really spread nice and wide. And then you're going to come into side plank, Vashisthasana. So start to pivot onto the outside edge of that left foot. Maybe your right foot is stacked halfway just in front of your knee. Or perhaps you stack both feet on top of each other. Find that balance of effort and ease. Where do you want to be today? Good. As much as you're pressing down into the left hand, can you get that lift through the right? And then everybody, if you want to give this a go, lift up that right leg. Find a starfish. Breathe in. Oh, I know. Breathe out. Just keep looking down if balance is the challenge. One more inhale. Whew. And bring that right foot down. Turn and come into that high plank. Inhale here. And then let's go for a vinyasa. Otherwise, meet me in downward facing dog. Remember, it's all about finding balance. I could go on and on about it. You'll be tired of me saying that by the end. Find your balance now in downward facing dog. Inhaling. And exhale. Breathe in fully. Open the mouth and maybe sigh out. Breathe in and look forwards to the top of the mat. Breathe out, make your way there. Maybe stepping, maybe taking a little hop. See how it feels. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale to fold. Press through the feet, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Look up and stretch them. So feel that lift, the palms join, the feet feel grounded. Hands to your heart. All right, other side. Keep that balance. Inhale, we'll reach the arms up. Between the amount of effort that we're using and the ease. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down. Maybe you want to jump back and go through a vinyasa in that way. But everyone make your way to downward facing dog, either through a vinyasa or not. I'm going to take a locust pose for this time. I like to vary my back bends so that I'm not always doing the same repetitive movement. Okay, left leg rises, breathe in. Exhale, bend that left knee in, step the left foot to the front of the mat, right knee down. Lovely, everyone, inhale, reach the arms up. Good. And then the right arm comes forwards, left arm comes back. Notice how this feels. My side, my left side, oh, it hardly goes back at all. But just notice, be gentle on yourself. Good, breathing in. Reach that left arm back, perhaps holding onto the outside of the right thigh. The right arm reaches up, and perhaps taking a little back bend. But if it feels pinchy in your low back, remember, engage your glutes a little bit. It's as though you're tucking your tailbone down a little bit, or back out of it slightly. And then bring that right elbow to the outside of the left knee, palms come together. Good. Press the palms against each other to get that lift and that sort of rotation through your spine a minute. Then tuck the back toes, strongly lift up into that higher twisted crescent lunge. Looking down if that's better for your balance, grounding through that big toe mound of the front foot especially. And then releasing that, arms come all the way up, finding Crescent Lunge. Oh, steady yourself in your Crescent Lunge and then bring your left elbow down right on top of this. Good. Press the forearms together, get that engagement, lift the elbows up a little bit more, maybe move the hands forwards, just feel that strength in your back. Start to lean forwards, really feel grounded and strong in that front leg and that foot. Come up to Warrior 3. Ooh, just keep listening to me and looking at something that's not moving. Breathing in, hug the inner thighs towards each other, draw up through the pelvic floor muscles, come all the way up to standing. Ooh, release your arms, bend into that right knee, left hand onto your hip, reach the left arm up, and then bend that right knee, as though you want to come into dancer, reach that hand back. Even though I know you all can, start to come forwards. Keep bending into that back leg as though you're using that hamstring strength alone. Good, holding it here, breathing in, finding that steadiness. Oh, this is hard, breathing out. A little bit of stirrer here. Come all the way back to center. Whew. Hands to your heart. Good, reach that right leg forwards, left hand on your hip now, as though you're coming into Utthita Padangusthasana. So you might have a little bend in that standing leg, I do, it's fine, just notice. And then reach that leg out to the side if you like, as though you're coming into that open pose. Yes, I know. Bring it back to the center. Well done, everyone. Oh, your thighs might be burning. Let's find a bit of ease, release that, reach that right leg back, find Warrior 3, hands can come to your heart if you like, and then step and land gently into Warrior 1, right foot back, reach the arms up here. Good. Take a moment just to settle into that breath again, and then interlace your hands behind your back, maybe non-dominant grip, maybe opposite thumbs on top, change the neuroplasticity a little bit if we can, keep everything working in the brain. And open up the front body. Good, engage through the core, still have that sort of hugging in of your low ribs sensation. And then keep reaching the arms back, but keep hugging in the low ribs. Bring that shoulder, the left shoulder, towards the inside of the left knee. And then think about pulling that left outer hip back towards the right foot, so that it's hugging in. You've got a little bit more power through your right glute there. Inhaling. Don't forget about your arms. Exhale. Release the hands, right hand down, pivot on the back foot, reach the left arm up. Good. Breathe in, find a moment to find that steadiness in your grounded right hand. And then come into your side plank. So left foot might be halfway in front of your right knee. It might be stacked on top of your right foot. And you're going to lift up and away from the ground. I like to have my hand a little bit in front of my shoulder. I find it's better for my my rotator cuff. But breathe in here. Maybe find that starfish. Good, lifting the left leg up. Sorry about my back. Inhale here. Ooh, hold it, breathe. And exhale. Lower down with that leg. And slowly bring the left hand down. Find yourself in plank. And then take a moment and go through your vinyasa when you're ready, or skip it. Remember, you can always find your way to a child pose. If your breath is becoming a little bit difficult, you know, it's nice to find that steadiness in your breath in a yoga practice. It's different from other sort of exercise. Don't always have to be completely out of breath, do we? You can find that difference there. Inhaling. Again, maybe opening your mouth, sign it out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Alright, next breath in, look to the top of the mat. And as you exhale, you're going to journey there. So maybe stepping or maybe taking a hop. Inhaling, halfway lift when you arrive. Fold, exhale. Press through the feet. Reach the arms up as much as you're grounding through the feet, you're lifting. Finding lightness, finding groundedness. Hands to your heart. Good, we're going to go through that again and add on. Ready? Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. I can see you all really clearly. You've got your cameras perfect. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, both hands down, step or maybe hop back. You know, it's your practice. Go through a vinyasa or perhaps skip it. Really sort of noticing how your breath is. If your movements are leading the breath, slow it down a bit. The breath should lead the movements. So downward facing dog, right leg up, inhale. Good, bend and open that hip first for me this time. Good, maybe look underneath your left armpit at your right foot. Ground through your left foot a little bit if you can, reach the heel back a tiny bit more. Then straight and square, bend that right knee, right foot forwards, left knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Coming into that twist again, left arm forwards, right arm back. Breathe in, get that expansiveness. Exhale, find that nice revolved sort of twist there. Reach the right arm back, left arm up. Inhale here, and exhale, come into that twisted prayer. So palms come together to start with. Press the palms against each other, get that lift. Tuck the back toe up, under, and lift the back knee. Good, either stay here or extend the left arm down and the right arm up. Depends on your shoulders. Maybe give it a go, maybe then think, no, not today. Good, balance that little bit of effort. Don't be afraid to try things. And then ease if you need it. Nice, and then come back to the center. Release your twist, reach the arms up, find high crescent lunge. Let's take eagle arms again, so bring the right arm down, cross the left on top of it, forearms press against each other, fingertips lift up, elbows lift up, fingertips forwards. Start to lean forwards, hug the low belly in, ground through that front toe. Find Virabhadrasana 3, warrior 3. Keep the back of the neck long. Keep any strain out of your face and keep your breath smooth and steady. Good, inhale, come all the way up to center. Release the arms, hands on hips and just bend that front knee. Good, and then reach that left leg behind you again, right arm up. All right, reach around. Good, hold it here a minute without actually holding it. You're not going into the dancer yet. Breathe in, lift that heel as close to your hip as you can, and then grab a hold of the foot. Whew, that's nice, isn't it? And then start to kick against that foot against hand, hand resists, and then maybe come into your dancer. So the more you kick back, the easier it is to balance. Find a little bit of ease here and try and keep both hips facing the floor rather than the left opening up to the side. That's it, that's great. Good, one more breath, inhale, kick back more, and come all the way back to center. Good, both hands onto your hips to start, bend into that left knee. All right, I know it's a long time on this right leg. Grab a hold of the toe if you want to. You don't have to do this, it's just an option. Otherwise, grab a hold of the knee. All right, if you've got the toe, straighten the leg, reach the leg straight. If you've got the knee, keep hugging that knee in close to your chest, pointing the toe down, having a little bit of effort here. Everybody think about hugging your low ribs in, lengthening tailbone down, grounding through that standing foot, big toe. So you've got a bit of effort, even though it feels easier than just holding it there. Bring the leg out to the side if you like. If you're bending the knee, you can reach the knee out to the side like this, it's perfectly fine. If you've got the toe and you can't quite straighten it, don't worry. Just, you'll get there one day. Hold on to the toe, eventually it will work, don't worry. Good, I'm going to be here with you. Inhale, come back to the center with that knee, release, hands come to your heart, step back through warrior 3, landing into Virabhadrasana 1, left foot comes down, reach the arms up, inhale here, nice, and then again, bring the hands behind you, interlace them. Come into humble warrior, so have spaciousness in the front body, but strength in the core. Bend into that front knee, start to lean forwards. Coming into humble warrior, hug that right out hip in a little bit, press into the outside edge of the back foot. Lift the hands away a little bit more, and then release the hand, left hand down, pivot on the back foot, right arm up. Easy lunge twist. Breathe in here. Ground through the left fingertips, the left hand, really strong there in the wrists. Remember where your shoulder and your wrists are in terms of alignment. Good, and then step into your side plank. So remember, you can stack one foot in front of the other knee. That's always fine. All right, just go to where you are today. Good, from here, if you want to, take another starfish. If you want to grab a hold of the toe, maybe explore it. Don't be afraid of trying things. I know it's hard. Sometimes you think, I'm going to fall, I'm going to look like a pillar. It doesn't matter. Breathe in. And breathe out. Release that foot down. Turn and face the mat. High plank. Go through your vinyasa. Just breathe it out through your vinyasa. So I like to use vinyasas as a way to reconnect with my breath and just sort of rinse my spine out a little bit, really. And so sometimes to me that means a few cat and cows, and then meet everybody in down dog. Yeah, take a breath in. And maybe let your lips. That feels quite nice sometimes. No one can see you, it's all right. Inhale. Those horse lips. Feels good. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. And exhale, journey there. Maybe a hop this time, maybe a step. Breathe in, halfway lift. And fold as you breathe out. Press through the feet, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Look up and stretch up. And hands to your heart. Good, other side. Inhaling, reaching up. Pressing down and lifting up. Exhale, fold forward. So it's root to rise, as we sometimes say. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, go through that vinyasa, or remember you can skip it, meet me in down dog. Breathing in and out through the nose, wherever you are. Taking that breath and movement together. I'm staying in down dog, so I can see you. And also I need a rest. All right, lift the left leg up, inhale here. Exhale, bend that knee, step the left foot forward, right knee down. Straight away, the inhale brings you up to that Anjanasana, low lunge. Hug the low ribs in towards each other, inner thighs hugging. And then right arm forwards, left arm reaches back. Good, breathe in, find that revolved twist. Reach the right arm up, stretch into the right side body. Create space for this twist, and then bring the right elbow towards the outside of the left knee, hands come together. Press the palms a lot so that you get that lift and that twist, that rotation through your thoracic spine. Maybe looking up, challenge your balance perhaps, tuck the toes, lift that back knee up, ground through the front toe, and then release the hands, come back to center. Reach the arms up, crescent lunge. Yeah. And then bring the left elbow down, cross the right on top, squeeze the forearms, lift the elbows, move the hands forwards, all those different cues, you know where you're going. Lean forwards, find that strength in the standing foot and leg. Come into warrior 3 with eagle arms. Pause for a moment, hug that right outer hip down. Your inner thighs squeezing towards each other, maybe micro bend that standing knee. All the way up to standing. Oh, bend that right knee, release the arms. Coming into that almost dancer to start with. So bend that right knee, reach the right heel towards your glute. Left arm up. Good, hold it here for a second, and then grab a hold of, ideally the inside of that foot. It helps you to open through that front shoulder. But if it's not accessible, hold on to the pinky toe edge. Then just kick back, and the more you kick back, the easier it is to balance. It's not about leaning forward so much as finding this little bit of a back bend. So a dancer pose is a back bending pose. Nicely done. Slowly come back out of it. Well done, release your hands. Lift that right knee in towards your chest. Good, and then you're going to reach on the inside of that right foot. Grab a hold of the toe or the knee. Don't worry if one side's different from the other. Give it a try. Don't be afraid to try and, challenge ourselves, but finding a bit of ease if we need it. And then if you want to, reaching that arm out to the side, the opposite side to the leg, and the leg comes out to the side. Or holding onto the knee, bring it out to the side, so it's just as good. Inhale here. Nice, Sarah, lovely. And exhale. Stay with that balance of your breath. Come back to center. Welcome everyone. Release that foot or that knee and glide back to warrior 3. Still have steadiness in that standing leg before you land gently into warrior 1. Reach the arms up. Inhale here. Finding your humble warrior. Changing the dominant grip. Maybe it's the non-dominant grip. Opening up the collarbones. Hug the low belly in. Round through both feet and reach forwards. Elbow towards the inside of that knee. Maybe you're coming down a little bit further towards the floor. Keep your gaze soft, hugging that left outer hip. And then release your hands. Right hand underneath your face. Left arm reaches up. Good. Last time, Vasana. Coming on to the right hand. Make sure you're grounded there. Stack the left foot on top of the right. Lift the hips away from the floor. Good. Stay where you are if you want, or lift that top leg. Perhaps bending the knee. Reaching down and grabbing a hold of the toe. And don't worry if it's something that's unfamiliar or new, or you think you're going to fall. You're not going to go far. It's okay to try. Breathe in and breathe out. Whew. And then release. If you've got hold of that big toe, I didn't see you, but well done, I'm sure you did. Come back to a high plank. Oh, let's go through a Vinyasa or skip it. We'll all meet in down dog. So you choose your Vinyasa, reconnect with that breath. And that balance of the breath again. If it's a little bit choppy like mine is, then just slow it down intentionally. Breathing in. And maybe sighing it out, or doing those horse lips again if it feels nice. One more inhale. And exhale. Wonderful. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. And then exhale, bend your knees. Journey your way there. Stepping or hopping. Breathe into that halfway lift. And fold as you breathe out. Then bend your knees, coming into chair pose. We're going to make our way down onto the mat. So in chair pose, I like to do this one with my feet together so that I'm getting that hugging in sensation, that adduction of my inner thighs towards each other a bit clearer. But you can have your feet hip width apart if it suits your body more. See how low you can sit down. Keep your belly hugging in. Breathe in. Keep your arms strong if you haven't got any shoulder issues. If you have, bring your shoulders down. Breathe out. Slowly start to lower down for 8. We're going down slow, Rachel, not too fast. 7, 6. I can see you in that lovely pink. You stand out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and land as light as a feather. Find the Vasana boat pose. Reach the feet up so that the shins are parallel to the floor. You know the options. Maybe holding on here. As long as you're not rounding the upper back like this, you're hugging the backs of the shoulder blades, the scapula towards each other, so you've got spaciousness in the front body. Try your best to keep the shins parallel. Reach your hands forwards if you like. Maybe straight legs if you like. For 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep lifting up. It's really about your hip flexors here. 4, 3, well done, 2, and 1. Come down to Ardha Vasana, still halfway down. So your shoulders are up, your legs are up, as much of your legs as you can. Look forwards. You can see your toes, Ali. That's good. Don't push your legs, Ali. That's it. Hug your low belly in for 3, 2, and 1. Lower your legs and lower your head. Just pause for a moment. Find this brief Shavasana. It's very brief. This is where you find your ease, this balance. Put a lot of effort in just then, so find this balance completely. Allow your breath to return to its normal rhythm, that smooth and steady inflow and outflow. Alright, this is not Shavasana yet. So bring your hands by your sides, just put them palm face down next to the sides of your thighs. And then lift your legs up to the sky, straight legs. And then perhaps come into a little bit of a plow pose, or maybe a full one if you feel okay with that, because it's quite deep. Lifting your hips up and reaching your feet backwards. Not going to stay here, just using it as a transition to then bring you forwards, cross the ankles, and find yourself maybe jumping through and going through a vinyasa, but everyone's going to meet on your belly. Nice, Sandra. I know, I took a while to explain that, sorry. Find yourself onto your belly. Alright, let's just do a couple of back strengtheners before we come into some nice stretches and then a breathing practice together at the end. So have the hands underneath your shoulders, hug the elbows inwards. So it's like you're squeezing the backs of the shoulders towards each other, and press down into the tops of your feet. Your feet don't have to be together, but mine are, but you don't have to have yours like that. And then finding a baby cobra, so start to lift the upper body up as much as you can without using the hands. Keep the back of the neck long, lift your arms away, your hands away from the mat. Breathe in. And breathe out. Keep squeezing the backs of the shoulders towards each other and the elbows reaching down towards your hips. So engaging through the lats and the side body and all these lovely muscles that Loz has been describing in Pilates. Has been so educational. Keep pressing into the fronts of your feet. Good. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale, lower down. Hands come underneath your forehead, elbows out to the side, and just rock your hips side to side. So balancing this effort and ease. We move on to another back straightener, a locust pose. You might have done some in your vinyasas, but let's find a bit of a hold here. So reach your arms back. I like to interlace my hands, but you can bring your hands either sides of your thighs if you like, with your pinky fingers facing your thighs so the palms are down. It's up to you really, and then you can fly your arms if that's what you prefer. I'm going to interlace my hands. Draw the heads of my shoulders back, so the fronts of my shoulders back already. Zip my legs up now like I've got one leg, and then start to lift the upper body, the legs and the feet. The legs are really strong, and if you want to feel your glutes a little bit more, try touching the soles of your feet together. Whew. Try lengthening the forehead and the crown of the head forwards, the feet back. So getting length here. Imagine you've got a blueberry that you're going to eat after class and it's underneath your belly button. Just lightly hug that away so you don't squash that. So we've got it for breakfast in a minute. Breathe in and breathe out. Good, grow longer, maybe a little bit higher. Inhale, find a little bit of effort here. And exhale, stay. One more. Inhale, lengthen. And find that ease finally as you relax, release. Hands come under your forehead if you like. And then rock your hips side to side. Alright, and then bend both knees. If you want to, you can take locust again, but we're going to go for a floor bow now. Dhanurasana. So it's the same word as Urdhva Dhanurasana, which is wheel, but that's obviously upward facing. And this is just Dhanurasana. For those of you learning Sanskrit, grab a hold of your feet from the outside. Try not to let your knees go out too wide, but they can be hip width apart. I like to point my toes to face behind me, so I'm flexing at the ankles. Good. Start to draw the front of the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then start to kick the feet against the hands, just like dancer pose. So if you're like me and you struggle in this pose, I just focus on kicking the feet back. Keep the back of the neck long. If this is easy for you, you might want to rock a few times. It's not for me, so I'm not going to do that, but I know some of you might like to do it. Stay with that breath. Keep the back of the neck long. Keep pressing the feet into the hands. Get that lift in this back bend. A little bit of strength. Don't let the knees go out to the side. Breathing in. Breathing out. Whew. One more breath. Stay strong. Inhale. Kick back more. And more. And more. Ooh, that last bit of effort. And then release. Well done, everyone. Well held. Bring your hands again onto your shoulders. And then hips rock side to side. Maybe windshield wiping your feet from left to right if you want. Easing off the low back. Alright, and then from here, hands come under your shoulders. Enough of these. Let's press up. Come all the way to a seat. So sitting on to your bottom, bringing your legs nice and wide into a wide leg fold. And what we're going to do now is grab your block, Have a little bit of effort and ease in this, she says with a wicked smile. Meant in loving kindness, everybody. Reach the arms up and squeeze the blocks so that your hands, your arms, are not forward of your head. Try and keep them level with your head if you can, and squeeze the blocks. If it's really bad on your shoulder, Ali, just take the block out or release it to the side. I know some of us have issues, so go easy, all right? Don't want you to hurt yourself. Have active toes so that your feet are flexed and your toes are pointing upwards. But take a breath in, hug the low belly in, come forwards onto your sitting bones, and then lean forwards just as far as you can go without your arms coming in front of your ears. Then inhale, come back, and exhale, go forwards again. Find this a few times with your breath. Notice where your toes go when you go forwards, when you come up. Nothing right or wrong, just notice how you are in your belly. See if you can keep squeezing the block. Your arms might be quivering, that's okay. Good, coming forwards and back. You can always lose the block if you want to. Good, come forwards and back one more time. Whew. Stay up here, squeeze the block again. Turn yourself to face the right leg, and then lean forwards to the right leg. And come back up, turn yourself to face the left leg. Lean towards the left. Keep squeezing the block. Inhale, do that 2 more times on each side, turn to the right. Exhale. Inhale, well done. And exhale, doesn't matter if you take the blocks away. That's recognizing I need a bit of ease now. That's okay. That's like life, isn't it? Come back up to center. Last time. Over to the left. Squeeze the block for 5 if you still got it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that. Down block. Right over there. Roll the shoulders up and down. I'm feeling a little bit hyper today. I don't know why. All right, shall we go forwards? This will feel really nice. Come forwards wherever you are in this pose. Let your feet go if you want to. You don't have to have them active the whole time. Maybe you're using a block to rest your elbows on. I like to sometimes bring my thumbs to that space between my eyebrows to sort of stimulate that pineal gland that I know is beneath there, which helps to start me focusing on rest and digest and those calming hormones. And then if your breath was a little bit faster, see if you can consciously slow it down again. Breathing into your own rhythm that's a little bit slower than normal. Letting go of your jaw. Letting go of any tension in your face, your shoulders. Just really finding that little bit of ease. One more breath in, breathe in, and breathe out. Okay, come all the way back up to center. That block can come out of the way. Hold on to the outsides of your feet. Bring your feet to your knees, bring your feet to touch, and then just taking a twist. So bend into that, I'm taking my left foot on the outside of my right knee. If you want to, you can come into this half Lord of the Fishes, Matsyendrasana. You can come into this bending both knees. It's both half Lord of the Fishes actually, but you can come into the half version if you like. Then reach that left arm up and back. Doesn't matter which side you're doing. Right arm can reach up. If you prefer, you can hug in front of the knee with that right hand, and then maybe interlace the hands. Give yourself a little bit of length as you pull the hands in opposite direction. Turn and pivot from your thoracic spine. So you can move your head to look behind if you like, or you might fancy a challenge just to see if you can keep your chin in line with your sternum. See where you're actually turning from. See where your depth of turn is. If you prefer to take a deeper twist, obviously take that. I know that you know your variations. The elbow on the outside of that thigh, hand behind, maybe even a bind. Breathe in, grow taller. If you're holding on to tension in your belly, can you soften it here? And then undo that. Just take a counter twist before we come on to the other side. Maybe staying high, or some people like to bend into it a little bit. And then come back. That's nice. Let's come back to center, undo your legs, and cross them the other way. Good, and then taking that twist again. So sitting nice and tall, make sure you're not on your heels. Reaching that right arm up, just gently touching the floor with your right fingertips, not leaning on it heavily. Then either wrapping that left elbow around the left knee, taking a bind if that's in your practice and it's accessible to you today, or not. Breathe in, or taller, exhaling. Soften that belly, soften your jaw, soften your face. Find a bit of ease in this twist. And then come back to center. And take that counter twist in the other direction. And then undo that. And then we're going to take a comfortable seat. I'm going to use this. You can go into a Shavasana afterwards if you like. But we're going to finish in this sort of comfortable meditation pose. You don't have to sit like me with an easy cross-legged Sukhasana. You can always sit on your knees. You can sit with your back against the wall if you prefer. It's up to you. And we're just going to take some alternate nostril breathing just to find that balance again. Nadi Shodhana. So I know we've done this some other times, so I know that you're probably all familiar with it. I like to sit with my hips up so my knees are lower than my hips, just feels more comfortable. Then roll your shoulders back and down, release any tension, maybe shake your head yes and no a few times. And then let the back of your head be in line with the back of your shoulders and your heart, and the back of your heart in line with the back of your hips. Not holding yourself too rigidly. And just start to notice that breath. And you're going to relax your left arm, either palm face up, it's the beginning of the day, you might want to feel receptive to whatever's about to appear in life this morning. Or if you want to close in a bit, or palm face down. And then your right hand's going to come up. Thumb closing off the right nostril, ring finger left. I think we're all aware of this, but I'll guide you a couple of rounds. So just bring the index and middle finger either to the space between your eyebrows, or you can take a little mudra by bringing them towards your palm. You're going to take a full breath in and out first. So we inhale here, and exhale. Close off the right nostril, inhale through the left for 2, 3, and 4. Close off the left, open right, exhale for 2, 3, and 4. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4. Close right, exhale left, 2, 3, 4. One more round together. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4. Close left, exhale right, 2, 3, 4. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4. Close right, exhale left, 2, 3, 4. Just continue on your own, with your own rhythm. We'll just be here for about 2 minutes. Settling those energies, balancing your yin and yang, the masculine and feminine, the energetic, the sthira, and the calm, the sukha. Let go of the shoulders. Face is relaxed. 2 more rounds. When you finish that second round, you're just going to keep your eyes closed if you like, and just let your right palm relax down towards your right knee. Just notice the feeling within you, that sense of calm. And then if you want to, you can slowly, without opening your eyes, if you've got a block under, just take it out of the way, come into Shavasana. If you want to stay seated, you can go ahead and stay seated and finish your practice for the morning seated. Otherwise, finding that steadiness on the way down to that Shavasana. Either Shavasana or meditation, just with this little quote from Rumi, that life is a balance of holding on and letting go. Thank you so much for joining me. You teach me so much. Namaste.